Okay. Uh, Good morning, everyone, and very happy Gandhi Jayanti to all of you. We are gathered here to talk about wet waste management. As 6 years ago, on this day, Swachh Bharat mission was launched to eliminate open defecation and to improve solid waste management. Before we start, a quick note to all our viewers. E-certificate will be provided to all participants. We will mention that form link at the end of our event. If you have any questions, you can ask on the comment section. Now, I would like to introduce our organization, Jaago Bharat. Jaago Bharat primarily aims to bring the deplorable condition, our environment, water bodies, water waste management, and education in forefront. We have launched our own product to tackle the problem of waste in household like composter pot, and got award for this project by Divisional Innovation Exhibition organized by Regional Science and Technology Center from Ghaziabad. Now Pooja will
Sure.
take the conversation further.
Now, moving further to our first guest speaker, Colonel Nara ji, an retired army officer now working as an environmentalist. He did a commendable job on vermi composting and initiated the composting process in several wards of Arun Vihar and in Noida Sector 28. Now, over to Colonel Nara ji, sir. Sir, please tell us about vermicomposting and how you started this project. Hello? Sir, are you there? I think we are having some trouble.
Yeah, I think there is some connection issue with Pooja. You can start with Mr. Chirag. Chirag, you can start. First go.
Yeah. Hi, Pooja. Hi, all.
Hi,
So,
Chirag, sir.
very happy Gandhi Jayanti to all of you. तो मैं यहाँ पे जागो भारत की मुहिम के बारे में बताना चाहूँगा, जो हम लोग कचरे के अगेंस्ट चलाते हैं। तो इसमें हम लोगों का बेसिक टैगलाइन है, मेरा कचरा मेरी जिम्मेदारी, जिससे हम लोग दुनिया को ये सिखाना चाहते हैं कि जहाँ पे कचरा हमारा बन रहा है, वो उसी सोर्स पे खत्म हो जाना चाहिए, वो आगे तक नहीं जाना चाहिए, क्योंकि अगर कचरा मेरे थ्रू जनरेट हुआ है तो उसको खत्म करने की जिम्मेदारी, उसको ढंग से डिस्पोज ऑफ करने की जिम्मेदारी भी मेरी बनती है। तो इसके लिए हम लोग क्या करते हैं कि हम लोग एक मटका कंपोस्टर हम लोगों ने डिज़ाइन किया है, जिसमें हम लोग एरोबिक डिकम्पोजिशन करते हैं कचरे का। ये मटका कंपोस्टिंग कोई भी बंदा अपने घर में आराम से कर सकता है। इसके लिए आपको कुछ नहीं करना है, बस अपने घर में जो भी आपका गीला कचरा जनरेट होता है, उसको आपको इस मटके में डालना है, और इस मटके में अलग-अलग जगह पे होल्स बनाए गए हैं, जिससे एयर पास हो सके और इसकी डिकम्पोजिशन फास्ट हो सके। इसके साथ ही हम आपको एक पाउडर देते हैं, जिसमें बेसिक नेचुरल चीज़ों का मिक्सचर है, जैसे कि कोकोपीट, ऐश और नीम खली, जो कि डिकम्पोजिशन को फास्ट करता है। तो हम इसका प्रोसेस कुछ इस प्रकार चलता है कि जैसे घर में जो भी गीला कचरा हुआ, मान लो फल सब्जी के छिलके वगैरह हो गए बचे हुए, उनकी एक लेयर डालो, ऊपर से हमारा पाउडर डाला जाता है, स्प्रिंकल किया जाता है, और इसको वंस अ वाइल पूरे मटके को स्टर किया जाता है। और एक 3 से 4 लोगों की फैमिली के लिए ये मटका पूरा भर जाता है 15 दिन में, और 20 से 25 दिन के अंदर ये खाद बना देता है, जैसा कि अभी हम स्क्रीन पे देख सकते हैं। काफ़ी नेचुरल और ऑर्गेनिक खाद बनती है ये, और यही खाद जो बनी है, इसको हम अगली बार अगले मटके में यूज़ कर सकते हैं टू लाइक एक्सेलरेट द प्रोसेस। इसके अलावा इस मटके में नीचे एक छेद बनाया गया है, जहाँ से एक लिक्विड निकलता है ओवरऑल द प्रोसेस, जिसको हम कहते हैं लीचेट। लीचेट एक तरीके का लिक्विड है जो तब बनता है जब किसी कचरे की लीचिंग होती है ऑर्गेनिक तरीके से, लाइक नेचुरल तरीके से। और ये लिक्विड इतना पावरफुल है कि अगर कोई प्लांट मान लो मरने वाला है या उसमें क्लोरोफिल की कमी हो रही है और हम 1:10 रेशियो वाटर के साथ मिक्स करके उस लिक्विड को डालते हैं तो वो उस प्लांट को रिवाइव कर देता है। तो दिस इज द स्पेशलिटी वी हैव हियर। और इसके अलावा हम लोग इसको इस मटका कंपोस्टर को अलग अलग जगह पे प्रेजेंट करते हैं, हम लोगों को इसके बारे में बताते हैं, हम लोगों को मोटिवेट करते हैं कि आप इसको घर पे यूज करें। और एक वन टाइम इन्वेस्टमेंट से आप अपने घर में ओवरऑल टाइम तक खाद बनाते रह सकते हैं इससे। और जैसे कि हम 2 मटके का एक सेट देते हैं तो 3 से 4 लोगों की फैमिली के लिए ये इनफ है। और काफ़ी अच्छी बात है कि इस टाइम पे एनसीआर में काफ़ी लोग हमारे कंपोस्टर को यूज़ कर रहे हैं और हमें सिर्फ अच्छे रिव्यूज़ ही मिले हैं इससे। और सबसे अच्छी बात यह है कि इस मटके को घर पे रखने से कोई स्मेल नहीं आती है, तो लोगों को उस चीज़ की प्रॉब्लम बिल्कुल भी नहीं है। और जो भी खाद बनती है उसको वो लोग अपनी गार्डनिंग में यूज़ कर सकते हैं या सोसाइटीज़ हैं तो अपने माली को दे सकते हैं। और इसके लिए हमको काफ़ी मीडिया कवरेज मिल चुकी है ओवर द टाइम, न्यूज़पेपर्स क्लिपिंग्स और एंड ऑल। और इसके अलावा हम लोगों को एक अवार्ड भी मिला था, गिवन टू अस बाय द रीजनल साइंस डिवीजन गाजियाबाद। सो इस अवार्ड के लिए ये अवार्ड हमें मिला था फॉर एन इनोवेटिव थिंकिंग इन द फील्ड ऑफ वेट वेस्ट कंपोस्टिंग। So yes, Pooja, this is the whole process that we do.
Sir, please tell us about the costing of the composter pot.
So costing comes like this: एक सेट ऑफ 2 पॉट्स जिसके नीचे 2 स्टैंड्स रहते हैं जिसमें हमारा लीचेट कलेक्ट होता है, प्लस दिस रीमिक्स पाउडर दैट वी प्रोवाइड। इट कॉस्ट यू अराउंड 500 on, and it is a one-time investment, so it is not that much.
And till now, how many customers we have in Greater Noida?
So I would say like in Greater Noida and Noida combined, we have more than 20 customers, and they all have sent us a small video of themselves with the menu that which they created, and it looks great.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much. Now we are waiting for Colonel Naraji to join us. Technical team, please update me when he joins.
Pooja, you can continue with the other guest. I think he will be joining at the last.
Okay. I think we have some connection issue with our first guest speaker. Now moving further to our second guest speaker, Mr. T.K. Bandopadhya, Technical Director of Indian Center for Plastic in Environment (ICPE). It is a nodal agency recognized by Government of India. Over to you, sir.
Okay, thank you. Um, गांधी जी प्रणाम, गांधी जी जयंती प्रणाम। तो मैं स्टार्ट करता हूँ। मैं हिंदी में बोलूँ ना इंग्लिश में बोलूँ? मैं स्लाइड तो इंग्लिश में है, पहले मैं स्लाइड शेयर कर लूँ। हाँ,
Yes, sir. Sir, it's up to you. आपको जिस भी लैंग्वेज में बोलना हो आप बोल सकते हो.
अच्छा, ओके फाइन। स्लाइड शेयर स्क्रीन कर दो ना पहले।
Yes, sir.
पहले शेयर स्क्रीन। No, it does not come.
Sir,
Screen
we
has not
can't
come.
see your screen.
Okay. Let me go back. I checked it. Now can you see?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now it can be seen.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Shall I start?
Yeah.
ओके थैंक यू। तो पहले मैं जागो भारत संस्था को अभिनंदन करता हूँ मेरे को इनविटेशन करने के लिए। ये गांधी जी पुण्यतिथि में ये शुरुआत है। तो मैं इंग्लिश एंड हिंदी दोनों मिला के बोलूँगा। प्लास्टिक वेस्ट मैनेजमेंट के बारे में मेरे को रिक्वेस्ट किया गया बोलने के लिए। सब्जेक्ट इज very vast and very controversial, very important nowadays. मैं करीब कितना टाइम में आई शुड फिनिश बाय हाफ एन आवर मैक्सिमम
Yes,
पूजा
sir.
जी? ओके हाफ एन आवर में मैं फिनिश करता हूँ। ओके थैंक यू। तो प्लास्टिक दुनिया में 1950 में प्लास्टिक का कंजम्पशन था 1.5 मिलियन टन and 2018 में इट इज अबाउट 350 मिलियन टन। इतना ज़्यादा हो गया। इसलिए ज़्यादा हो गया उसका कारण भी है, इसका सुविधा है, लेकिन इतना ज़्यादा हो गया इसका लिए ये थोड़ा वेस्ट मैनेजमेंट का प्रॉब्लम भी कर रहा है। वो उसका बारे में हम पूरा आलोचना करेंगे। 200 इंडिया का पोजीशन क्या है? इंडिया का पोजीशन 16 मिलियन टन है लास्ट ईयर 18-19 का। And per capita consumption, world per capita consumption is around 40 kg से थोड़ा कम है, 38 kg अराउंड है। एंड इंडिया का प्रेजेंट 12 kg पर कैपिटा कंजम्पशन है। फॉर कंपैरिजन यूएसए का पर कैपिटा कंजम्पशन इज अबाउट 116 किलो and Western European advanced countries, their consumption is in the range of anything between 80 to 90, 100 kg per capita consumption. So India का consumption थोड़ा कम है and overall consumption also is not very high, 16 million ton. डिफरेंट मटेरियल है प्लास्टिक्स में, पॉलीइथिलीन, पॉलीप्रोपिलीन, पीवीसी,
Yes,
PET.
sir.
These are the these are the main material consumption ज़्यादा है। and all these items plastics का we are familiar with, पाइप से लेके एग्रीकल्चरल सिस्टम से लेके डिस्पोजेबल से लेके वेरियस आइटम्स, मेडिकल का आइटम्स लेके cable, then building construction, aerospace, automobiles, furniture, household, toys, then packaging. Packaging is the single sector, largest sector where plastics is used most. About 40% of all plastics are used for packaging. And this is, packaging means it is flexible also, rigid also. And flexible packaging in India, we are having problems with the flexible packaging. Then you may question why flexible packaging. If we are not keeping it, then alternatives are there. I will discuss alternatives are there. Their other environmental cost will be much higher. And this particular flexible packaging mode, though it keeps the product more than 1 year in good condition, but after we use the product, we throw it out and creates problem. I mean that creating an environmental problem. That what we should do or what we should not do, we'll discuss. If we do not select plastics, so what are the other alternatives? Aluminium, steel, glass, paper. These are the available alternatives with us. But let us see what is the environmental cost. Aluminium बनाने में 74 किलोवाट आवर पर केजी लगता है। स्टील के लिए अबाउट 14 किलोवाट आवर, पेपर 7.1, ग्लास 7.9 and plastics बनाने के लिए 3.1. All these are average figures, 3.5 1. So plastics बनाने के लिए overall energy consumption is less. So we may say that environmental impact of for manufacturing plastic material is the least among the alternatives. And एक LCA study लाइफ साइकिल एनालिसिस स्टडी होता है वो दैट इज ए इम्पोर्टेंट टूल फॉर द पॉलिसी मेकर LCA स्टडी कराया गया था थ्रू IIT दिल्ली एंड इसमें 1 लाख टन आटा पैकेजिंग के लिए जूट पैकेजिंग एंड प्लास्टिक पैकेजिंग जूट का ऑफकोर्स अंदर तो प्लास्टिक लैमिनेशन है ही नहीं तो प्लास्टिक आटा तो बाहर आ जाएगा वो है बट दिस ए जूट मेनली जूट बैग एंड इसमें देखिए 330 kilowatt, I mean, gigajoule is the energy consumption compared to 63 gigajoule for plastic. So 81% saving, energy saving here. And environmental other things, carbon dioxide and NOx and SOx, all these gaseous emissions in jute bag is much higher compared to polythene bag. तो ट्रांसपोर्टेशन के लिए भी जो पॉलिथीन बैग में जो माल किया गया है उसका ट्रांसपोर्टेशन में पॉलिथीन में कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड एमिशन नॉक्स एमिशन इज मच लेस कंपेयर टू व्हाट इट हैपेंस विथ द जूट and 2005 में world over whatever greenhouse gas emission was calculated. That was an initiative by International Chemical Council. McKinsey did this study. 46 gigajoule was the total the greenhouse gas emission. Why we are discussing about greenhouse? But greenhouse is the most important, important uh, environmental uh, enemy to all the art people because if the temperature goes up by very limited world average temperature goes up by 1 degree centigrade, less than 1 degree centigrade. So many lands across the world will go under the water with the help of the ice in our polar region. So in this calculation, it was seen that among the 10 sectors saving greenhouse gas emissions, 4 sectors were with plastics. Insulation sector, packaging sector, automobile sector, and piping sector. And in the packaging sector, we have further calculated that all this plastic sector uh, uh, lessen the greenhouse gas emission to the tune of about 1 gigaton. Very 2%, more than 2% of the total greenhouse gas emission in the world. That is figure is 2005 and 2012 का भी some partial statistics मैं दूंगा. And in the plastic packaging sector, the saving was 220 million ton carbon dioxide equivalent. So you see that uh, environmentally, plastic is better than its alternative. And another 2012 also another study was conducted by American Chemistry Council for America and Canada. There they had analyzed if all the packaging material, not all, there are 6 important packaging sectors are replaced by alternatives, what will happen? They have seen the 4.5 times requirement of the alternative material will be there, then 80% energy will be more, and most important is global warming potential will result in 130% higher. So that is all the 3 factors are against the alternatives. Despite all these positive attributes, plastics in general and plastic bags and flexible packaging material in particular, especially for India, are under the scanner. For what? And the plastics are harmful to the environment and human and animal health. It is not harmful for the environment. That last 2 3 slides I have clearly shown because it is least greenhouse gas emission material. So it cannot be harmful to the environment. Regarding human and animal health, there are four issues: safety of human and animal health, toxicity, non-biodegradability, and emissions during burning. These are the four issues I have marked in blue color. And disposal is the actual issue which I will deliberate. But before that, I will just say a few words about the safety and human health. Is plastic products, as I've shown, plastic products are used for disposable syringe, for IV bottle, for blood bag, for various components which are planted inside the human body. So as a material, plastic in general, material are safe for human and animal health. When it comes against the human health and all that, that is due to some aspect of disposal that I will discuss later on. And toxicity, it is not at all toxic. Had it been toxic, it would not have been used in pharmaceutical sector, pharmaceutical packaging sector. Because pharmaceutical is the one application. They test the product in which they are uh, packaging, especially the liquid medicine, safely. So it is not a toxic material. And non-biodegradability. Yes, but plastics, normal plastics are not biodegradable because we require that long lasting property of plastics. Pipe plastic pipe are uh, can last for 100 years, more than 100 years, and it is an advantage because we don't have to change for the metal uh, pipes which are corroded or which have got otherwise due to some environmental effect have deteriorated. The plastic pipe, whether it is polyethylene HDP or PVC pipe, they can last for 80 to 100 years or even more. So this is the advantage, and many applications where we want a water tank, synthesis water tank on our rooftop. We will like to have it for 20 years, 30 years, or even more. Beyond 30 years, of course, they don't last due to some other sun ray and all that. But the long life property is an attribute to the plastic. Biodegradable plastics have been developed, but biodegradable plastic for the resource management, we require recycling. We don't want to exhaust our resource. That's why a product which has got recycling capability, and by recycling it replaces the virgin material, that is more desirable. So these are the aspects. Biodegradable plastics has got applications. Mulching is the largest application for biodegradable, and mulching means it increases our farm production. And Japan uh, developed this particular biodegradable plastics for the mulching clean application only in the beginning. Now there are some other applications, but the overall biodegradable plastics and normal plastics we will not compare like that. And if there is a notion that if it is a biodegradable plastic, it is good, but it is not like that. When biodegradable plastic is left in the for composting and all that, it releases more methane and more carbon dioxide, so which is detrimental. So these aspects I am not going through much. This emission of burning of anything is harmful to the environment. So it is not advisable that we burn uncontrolled burn any plastic or any other organic material. Disposal is the main challenge which I will for plastic, and Indian situation. What is the aspect I will discuss. The Indian condition, we don't see any rigid plastics waste littering on the field or roadside and all that. Why? We see only the flexible plastics, the packaging or bags and all that. But a broken bucket, we don't see lying on the roadside. A broken jerrycan, we don't see lying on the roadside because these are got value, these are picked up and sold to the recycler, and which are recycled. But of course, developed countries, their culture is different. In their even rigid plastic waste also cause some issue. But in an Indian scenario, flexible plastic waste is the main issue. And what are those? The thin carry bags. Thin carry bags is by law it is banned less than 50 micron. Still it is being used, but thin, if not thin carry bag, thin film, that if it is abandoned in the roadside, it is harmful. Multi-layer packaging. Multi-layer packaging, I have shown this coffee packaging, biscuit packaging. Why multi-layer? Because single layer plastic cannot, cannot give the barrier proper barrier property. So different type of plastics are joined together. Even a layer of aluminium also added, so that product remains good. But the problem is when a packet of chips I tear, and I 10 rupees per packet I consume in one sitting, and after that I throw that multi-layer packaging, and this multi-layer packaging has got limited receivable at the recyclers, because all recyclers do not have the facility for handling this particular material, which I will discuss how it can be tackled. I will discuss. And the thermocol, expanded polystyrene, which is the light material. One truckload, one truck, 10-ton truck can carry, will be fully loaded with maximum 100 kg EPS. That's why it is also a problematic material. But there are solutions. Uh, Disposable single-use items like small cups, cutleries, and small sachets, these are also causing problems. The real issue is littered and uncollected waste, including plastic waste, mixing up of dry waste and plastic waste with wet waste. If we do not separate the waste in two bins at least, and in developed countries they use 4 or 5 bins, but at least two bins if it is not separated, then it creates a problem. And inadequate infrastructure of the waste handling and disposal. These are the basic issues in Indian condition. Solid waste, I have this data is little old, 63 million ton total municipal solid waste. The figure stand as on date is close to 68 to 70 million ton. And biomedical waste also at the per day 500 metric ton it was. It is a little more now. So various surveys, including the Central Pollution Control Board, it has been seen plastic waste constitute about 10%, maximum 12%. It is about varies between cities and small cities and higher large cities. 8 kilo to 12 kilo percent of municipal solid waste of that particular city. So from that point, uh, the the plastic waste uh, comes to about 5 to 6 million ton. Some little more elaborate calculation I am going to show you. See this plastic waste in India 2018-19. What we did, we set together in Plast India Foundation, and we have the figure of the production of plastics by all corporate consumption of plastics by production as well as consumption. Consumption in some plastics we are importing still now, but majority we are not importing. Only one plastic PVC to be specific. We have less production capacity than our consumption. That's why we import PVC to some extent. 3,000 tons is the total consumption, and country production capacity is about half, 50%. So PVC we are importing, or other plastic we don't import. The total consumption is about 16 billion tons, and we know we know the what are the products made out of it. Packaging, thin packaging material, we have seen, we have estimated that within 1 year it will go into the waste stream. So that by and other some small solid waste also minimum 2 or 3 years it takes to go to the waste stream, or even 1 year also. Some small container, solid container may go to the waste stream. By calculating that, we have come to a figure that 42% of the total consumption or consumed plastic go into the waste stream within 1 year, which comes to about 6.6 million ton for that year. And what happens to the plastics which are already in the market, in the consumption? So we, with the limited study capability, we calculated for last 5 years. Last 5 years, whatever plastic had gone to the market, we calculated that 2 million ton had come to the uh, solid waste, municipal solid waste stream in the year 2018-19. So the 6.6 million ton and 2 million ton, 8.6 million ton was the total plastic waste which came to the municipal solid waste, entered into the municipal solid waste stream in the year 2018-19. This figure is very much uh, close to the CPCB survey. CPCB survey showed about 9.3 million ton of the plastic waste generation. So we are on the right track. And recycled, but this calculation is more scientific. But product wise, we have gone. We have taken that a kurkure packet, a chip potato chip packet will definitely go within one year to the wastage. So that we have calculated the weightage. And recycled India nowadays India figure is about 70% plastic are uh, recycled, mostly rigid, and some flexible material is still abundant, which is constitute this creates still creating the environmental issues. So about 6 million ton we are recycling, and percentage wise, it is one of the highest in the world. And this, while calculating this, we calculated this about a year back. At that time, COVID waste was not there. Now the COVID waste also will be coming. This all the has much shoot. This each shoot is about 200 gram, and India is producing at today about 2 lakh such shoots per day. So we have calculated, and the all the other accessories, the shield and gloves, the mask, all these things, about 1 million ton will be added. But all these things are recyclable because these are polypropylene fiber or polyester fiber. These are easily recyclable, and the uh, hazardousness, this can be kept with plastic bag for 15 days. So all the germs, COVID germs and all that will be vanished during that time. But handling is an issue that has to be handled properly. But this material will not go into waste. It need not go to the incinerator for burning. And these are the ventilators and all that. These are rigid material. These there is no issue after the usage and all that. This can go to the recycling stream, and this will go to recycling stream without any issue. And we had conducted some study, and we found that though that was early 2009, but even recent study also show the disposable site about 6% was shown, but nowadays it shows about 8% to 9% the plastic waste goes to the landfill side, because India 90% we are landfill. But we had entered into the landfill area by the permission of the corporation, and seen that from the landfill also the waste plastics are collected, which are not healthy, but for livelihood and all that they take care, and they wash it and sell it to the recycler for making the uh, some type of recycled material which are not very important, which are not doesn't come into food contact application. So ultimately, less than 0.3% remain in the landfill, which are mainly multi-layer laminates and EPS. So solutions: segregation of waste at source requires mass awareness in the electronic media. It is required. India, we have eradicated polio. It was mostly possible due to the mass awareness. People used to take their children to the polio vaccination on a religious basis. But for the waste control and all that, we don't see much media awareness. Collection and disposal requires improvements in the infrastructure. For this infrastructure, no fund is coming from the other than government source. Everybody, government, if we depend on only government, this will not have see the success goal. And recycling and recovery. Plastics are 100% recyclable or its energy can be recovered. So there should not be any problem with the recycling and recovery of plastics. But it requires the support of the promoting, support of the and for a business model, which we are seeing that at present it is happening. Recycling technology we have, these are the recycling technology, mostly material recovery, mechanical recycling is the most important thing, and energy recovery. The cement clean and heat and power generation. Cement clean is most popular. uh, this is the picture, another picture, and we have given this for the product 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These 6 plastics: PP, HDP, PVC, LDP, and LLDP, PP, and PS. These 6 plastics constitute more than 80% of all plastics. So, if except the polyethylene to polyethylene, other material mixed to some other material, we will not be able to mechanically recycle the product. So these numbers have been given. Nowadays, the producer following these things. Why this is there? Why this is given? Because the waste pickers, they can segregate the product separately. If PET mixes with PP, then and it goes to the recycler, they will not be able to get a proper recycled product. And mechanical recycling is the most important. It requires the same group material, and these are the product. And we know all this product, the battery, car battery can be made into a briefcase or suitcase. And this is a product, mixed plastics. It can be made into fuel by pyrolysis process. Even all types of mixed plastics can be go there. And the cement clean. All types of plastics, not only plastic, any other hazardous material, or can be put into the cement clean. That ICPE had made it regular in 2008 trial. So Germany uses 60% stock in plastic waste. 60% they replace coal is replaced by plastic waste. India, we conducted the trial less than 5%. If we consume about 20%, India we consume about 30 million ton of coal. If 20% of coal we replace, will require 6 million ton of plastic waste. And this is not producing, India do not produce 6 million ton of plastic waste, the flexible plastic waste, but the collection and transportation to the cement mill, that is not happening. We are having problem in the fund issues. There, the end users should come forward. So this is again the paper waste that also has stopped now. That is going to cement mill. Road also uses plastic waste. Then we made this road in Mumbai in 2008. It ran. It was good up to 2013 without any pothole issue.
Tushar sir?
Yeah, yeah. I'm just another 1 minute and saying, huh? Okay,
Yeah, sir, can you please wrap up quickly?
okay, okay.
We have few questions for you.
Okay. So this waste management, which is this waste management, it has to be there. The corporation starts helps, and it is to be segregated. After segregation, it is sold to the recycler or its representative, and the waste picker also get benefited. They earn something, and we have statistics. We are there for last 15 years in Mumbai. Some 7, 8 wards. We are along with the NGO. We are doing this thing. Even in the Delhi, we have donated this particular small pyrolysis plant, a new Motiba colony. So all the plastic waste, including the biscuit wrapper, chocolate wrapper, it doesn't go to the landfill. Some uh, whatever is not going to the recycler, it is they put it in this machine and made into like diesel oil. So this particular recommendation, EPR is the most important. Uh, the uh, the producer's responsibility. So that is not happening in India as on today very effectively. This is required. This space is required for extended producers' responsibility. That portion of the 2016 plastic waste management rule. And this is of course Western Europe, Europe's figure. They don't have any. Many countries they do not have any landfill. Everything is either processed or recycled or incinerated for making generating heat. So our main mantra is segregation is the starting point for waste management. If it is segregated, then we at least 50% of job we have been able to complete. Otherwise, we are again everything will go to the landfill. We will be leading to the same thing. So with this, I end my talk. And if some questions are there, as Hudaji was telling, uh, uh,
Yes, sir.
yeah, tell
So
you.
my first question is,
Yeah.
why is the EPR Act is not being strictly implemented in India, where
India,
we are left?
yeah, I'll tell you, the Germany, it is effectively done. The green dot system is there, effectively done. All the uh, material producers who use plastics for packing their product for the market, even including Coca-Cola, they have to pay a fee to the central body for taking care of the collection and processing, sending to the processor. They don't have to recycle it. For the collection and sending to the processor, that also involves some technology and fund. So that all the users of plastics for packaging, they have to pay. In India, we are having some problem because 28 states, six union territories, centralized pollution means it has to be given to the central government. State government or local municipality, they cannot be the collecting authority because like a Procter and Gamble product, it goes to the from Nagaland to the South India and the Northeast India, where they will pay. They can pay to the central government. So this is not happening. That is the problem. So recently, the CPCP has come out with the EPR formula, new formula. Let's see what happens. But only municipality and only government cannot make bring a uh, uh, solution to this. All the people who are stakeholders, mainly manufacturers and the main users who use plastics, they have to come forward. Some portion of their profit, they have to. One particular example I am giving: any plastic waste, if talk about even including the thermosets, but the one which is once it is heated, it cannot be melted. Including thermosets, I can send it to cement kiln for its use as energy instead of coal. But we are not getting the fund for collection and sending to the cement kiln because cement kiln are concentrated in the some portion, some area. Even that, if it is more than 100 kilometer away, then cement kiln will not bother about spending their money. So this has to be resolved because though mechanical recycling is the first option, but instead of lying inside the by the roadside and all that, it can be collected and sent to the cement kiln to get rid of this plastic waste so that it does not ultimately go to the sea. So this is not happening. This answer all of us are trying to find out. As I said, CPCB has just now, 1 month back, they have made some modification of the EPR rule, and let's see what happens.
Okay, thank you, sir, for your time and giving us much insights about plastic waste management. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now, moving further to our next speaker, Colonel Naraji, and retired army officer now working as an environmentalist. He did a commendable job in vermicomposting in the several wards of Arun Vihar and Noida Sector 28. Now, over to Colonel Naraji.
ये हम बात कर रहे हैं एनवायरमेंट इम्प्रूवमेंट, पॉल्यूशन कंट्रोल एंड सॉलिड वेस्ट मैनेजमेंट. इन सॉलिड वेस्ट मैनेजमेंट हमारा वर्मी कंपोस्टिंग और कंपोस्टिंग बाय एनी मीन्स is one of the very important factor to control the pollution.
Colonel Naraji, we can't see you, sir. Your camera is off.
My camera is...
Yeah, we can hear you, but we can't see you, sir. If there is any issue, sir, you can carry on like this.
One minute.
Okay, sir. Sir, I think we should carry on. We have lack of time, sir.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
So, okay. We are talking about improvement of environment, pollution control, and solid waste management. In solid waste management, composting by composter or vermicompost is most important. सबसे पहला factor in this is segregation, which needs mass awareness in any community wherever this vermicomposting or composting by any other means is required. I'm living in a community where we have got about 216 houses and we have got 100% segregation. So we segregate the solid waste management into wet waste and dry waste and hazardous waste. So dry waste and hazardous waste is given to the municipality to take care of that. What we do in our community, we take the wet waste and make a vermicompost out of this. The process in making this is the wet waste is taken to the pits which are above the surface and the composting is done by aerobic methods. The other ingredients which are included in this is the kitchen waste, herbal waste, and including a small amount of cow dung. So three things makes the ingredients for the worms to be introduced, which are red worms. So we put those worms and in about 30 to 35 days, we get the compost. So the worms, they gulp the soft and semi-decomposed material and bring out the pellets, which forms the compost, which is highly nutritious. Now, the In about a year, out of our community, we have utilized about 28 ton of the wet waste. And out of this, about 50 to 60% we have converted into compost. And this compost we are utilizing in our numerous parks and numerous houses. And if we save some surplus, that surplus is sold in the market at the rate of 20 rupees per kilo. In this way, in 1 year, we have made lakhs of revenue for the community. So this system of composting, when we compare with other methods which involve a lot of automatic composting plants, is much better in the following ways. No plant will ever give you any money, any revenue. They will just produce some waste. It may be a rock, or maybe some may or may not be any compost. That's one point. Then they will create a lot of pollution. This method will not create any pollution. Then there is a lot of electricity consumption, which is again a part of pollution because the carbon content is not reduced. But here, no electricity consumption and carbon content is reduced very significant. So it means by all means we are controlling the pollution, adding to the environment, and this compost recycled the whole waste, the wet waste. So it goes into the soil. Then from the soil, all these things are produced. They come back and again we convert it. Whereas if you compare with the plants, it doesn't happen like that at all. So the Mother Earth gets the highly nutritious compost and then it goes to the plants. Plants grow much better. The crops grow and their yield is minimum 2 times. So what the Prime Minister says that we will double the income of the farmer, this is the method. What is the method? What they do it? What we are doing is in urban India. And if you do it in rural India, there you may not have much of a wet waste, but you will have the gobar of the animals that you introduce vermicompost into that cow dung or buffalo dung, and that produces the same compost. When that compost is added to the crops, we get more than twice the result of without compost from that crop. The yield is fantastic, and that goal of the government or the Prime Minister will be fully achieved. In this way, this is highly attractive to all the community RWS, Residents Welfare Associations. Any other points?
We have few questions for you, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, how does one can separate the fertilizer from the earthworms when the process is complete?
Yeah. See about 35, 40 days or 30 days, once the compost is ready, which we can make out that it is completely black and is just like a powder. So there are 2-3 methods. One is a sieve method, chulli method. In that you put the prepared compost and sieve it. So the worms, if any, they will remain above and the fine powder will come down. So that fine powder can be utilized in our fields. and the worms again go back to the compost pit. Second method, if you don't have the sieve, you apply little sun to the compost, and the worms will go down about 2 to 3 inch. And the upper layer of the compost, you can remove it and use it. After a day or so, again you repeat this. In this way, you can take out the whole compost and shift the worms to another pit where the raw ingredients have been brought in. Third method, that you have partition of the pits. In one pit you have the worms. In the adjacent pit you don't have the worms, and you have got the raw material. Raw material that we mentioned earlier is the kitchen waste, the horticulture waste, and the dung. So once this compost is ready, the worms automatically will leave that because they don't have nothing to feed on that, and they'll come to the raw ingredients where their feed is ready. So the first pit where worms have moved out can be utilized. So these are three methods where we can do that.
Sir, it's my personal question. What motivated you to start this vermicomposting or environmental activity, sir?
See, you take any other method which makes the compost or disposes of the solid waste management. There is no comparison with it. As I said earlier, it gives you money. It gives money to the farmer. It gives money to the RWS. It means you earn a significant amount of revenue. Two, the same, you control the environment. Three, it goes to the soil. It enriches your soil. Now you are using the chemical fertilizers. They're destroying the soil. They're destroying the plants. They are polluting. They are, see, the urea is becoming a cause of cancer in the rural areas. You take the Maharashtra, you take Punjab. How many people are suffering from cancer because of these fertilizers and pesticides? But if you have this compost, you will not need chemical fertilizers. You will not need pesticides. So this fantastic system of solid waste management, controlling the pollution and adding to the beauty of the environment, this attracted me that I must do something. And we achieved it, and achieved it wonderfully.
Thank you, sir, for your time
Thank you.
and giving us information about vermicomposting. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now moving further to our next guest speaker, Mrs. Rashmi ji. She works in a project in Vasant Vihar D Block RWA Community Composting Station, monitoring the whole setup and manages everything. This project is running in the corner of the Central Park of D Block since 2000. Now we will know more about it, through Rashmi ji. Over to you, ma'am. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you. Like you said, yeah, okay.
Tell us about your project, ma'am.
Yeah. I and a lady living in the neighborhood, we got together and thought that let us make D Block a garbage-free area, in the sense that we will not send any garbage or any green material outside for the landfills. So we got together and we talked to the people in the neighborhood. Yeah, we talked to the people in the neighborhood that we want to embark upon a plan like this, wherein we want to collect garbage from your homes, bring it to a corner in the park, and where we sit down and got two people to pick up the garbage from people's home, bring it in that corner, and segregate it for us. So in that, by segregation, at that time we were not segregating it initially only. By segregation, I mean they were taking out the green waste, which could be converted into manure, and they were keeping the other materials like what they could recycle, sell in the market for themselves, and giving it us the cartloads of green waste that they gathered from people's home. So we brought it over there, and then this is instead of the over there, we pile up those garbage that we collect into heaps. 2 days garbage gives us one row. We collect it in rows and let it sit over there. Then after, I think we can make 12 rows in the area that we have demarcated, and it takes us about a month's time, something, or maybe a little earlier, to make those 12 rows. By the time the 12th row is made, we are ready to turn over the first row. You turn it over, put a little EM solutions, that is that we add a little microbe in order to help it to decompose. It decomposes faster. When it decomposes faster, there'll be no stink. You know, anything decomposing does leave a little stink behind. People around were, a little apprehensive of this. They were checking us on this. There's too much of stink when we are walking, because it's a huge park and it's a public park. Very happy about it. But when we showed them that we'll cover it, and we tried to put these curtains, we hid it away by putting some hedges around, hedges of plants that were fragrant flowers. So this, they were a little pacified, and it was okay, they were agreeable to that. But the thing is that what we did was then let it you go on turning it every 4-5 days. You are turning it so that the niche wala portion comes upar, and then you move on to the next one. Like this, it's ready. The thing is ready in about 30 to 40 days. Each there are 12 lines of waste, like I said, each about 3 feet to 3.5 feet wide, and we do not need any special manpower for it. We just need 2 people who bring the garbage to us, and we have a Mali working in the park who helps us to turn it once in 4 days or 5 days. We have given him with those rakes to turn it over. He gets gloves and those rubber boots to wear when he is moving in that area. And then after the thing has dried and decomposed, by using this EM solution, we take the khad out, that particular row out, keep it for drying. We dry it for about 5 to 7 days in summers. In winters, it takes a little longer, but in rains, it takes much longer. Then once it is done, then we strain it. We have a jali with a little thicker, those holes in it, where we strain it, because we don't want a very fine powder. We want a coarsey kind of material that is better for the growing of the plants. In winters, the process is a little longer. Why? Because the sun is not so strong. In summers, the process is a little faster because of the heat of the sun. The decomposition happens faster. Then dry it in the sun for 2-3 days, then 7 days, and then once it is we chano it, then what we do is we bag it up and we keep it with us, which is used in all the parks in our block, and this way we have made our parks self-sufficient. We don't have to buy manure from outside. We are using this manure in the parks, and also giving it to our members. Whoever wants it, they can grow their plants in it. It is a very good manure. If you want, see, this is the one that is the garbage manure, the compost. And this is the one where we are composting the green waste also. We are for green waste, the process is a little different. What we have done, we've dug out pits, huge pits, because this is a huge park. There are leaves falling all the year round. So we are collecting these leaves, small branches of the trees, the ones that can decompose faster, and putting them there. Then we put a layer of mitti on top and seal it. So when we seal it, then in 6 to 8 months' time, this manure is ready. This also we sieve it, but again sieve it through a little bigger holes wala jali, so that we don't get a very fine powder. We get a little coarsey material. Like you can see, the manure here is a little coarsey. See, it's not very fine. Similarly, here this is, see what nice dark color material is the leaf mold. And this is the area what you're showing in the slide right now is the area where we do this segregation of our waste. Uh, one line of waste makes about a bag of compost. We are, since it's a public park, we cannot sell it. We just give it to our members. But there are members who would like to contribute something, because after all, the whole process does entail a little expenditure. So we use that money for the expenditure bit, for buying the tools, or for buying the gloves and the boots for the malis, and the money is used for that. This kind of composting is a very simple and easy method. We have to just, this is known as the aerobic kind of composting, because it's getting air. Anaerobic also you can do when you're digging pits and putting the thing inside, then there is no air circulation. But in this one, it is a simple method. It's the aerobic method, requires very small place for doing it, and there is actually not too much of resources one needs. One just needs the help of 2 3 people. To garbage we are generating anyway, and so we just need some people to help us to arrange those lines and turn them over once in 4 5 days. So this way it is environmentally friendly also. It is economically viable, because there is no expenditure at all. Rather, we are generating something. If we could sell it, one could get a lot of revenue out of it. But since we are not allowed to sell it from here, so it is just that we just get a little money for buying those extra things that we need around for doing this thing. Negative side of this is that anything decomposing does have a little stink. So the people were initially very critical. They were not happy. They made us, they were getting after our life. This, you should stop it or what. So what we did was, then we planted these fragrant flowering shrubs around, demarcated the whole thing with a green boundary kind of a thing, which they could not see. So it was all right. To a large extent, the stink was camouflaged. And then again, using EM solution, one uses that EM solution for it to decompose faster. So the stink obviously became much less. The view, of course, is not very good. So for that reason, we had these green net. Every gardener is available, is knowledgeable about green net. So we put these green net curtains in front of in front of the setup that we had, which hid away the ugly part. And also planting these shrubs and making a wall of the shrubs helped it to make it look better, look greener. So it was all right. The process does have mosquitoes and flies coming in. For this, we then spray some enzyme, the bioenzyme on them, and we are able to get rid of mosquitoes and flies. They don't trouble you too much. It's a little slow process, yes, because it takes about 90 to about 120 days to decompose. But how do you get? I'm growing most of my plants in this using this card, and my green plants are absolutely lush. And another drawback is the non-vegetarian waste. I mean, of course, naturally it doesn't decompose that faster, so we are not able to use those bones and all, if you say. So, and since they also increase that stink time, so we tell him not to give us the non-veg part, especially the bones and all. Though we are using, sometimes people give their khana also. We put it there, it does decompose, and it does become into khad. I've told you sting ke liye enzyme based odor control products can be used, or these fragrant flowers can be used. If you grow that, like in summers, grow jasmine and champas and all these fragrant flowers. In winters, there's this apocanthra one can grow. It smells very good. Blooms for about 2 to 3 months. Very good environment around. View solution, I've already said, either cover it with the green net or cover it with bamboo chick curtain, but we have covered it with the green net that we get in the market that all gardeners know about. Process, I've already said, is a very is a is a little slow process, but now one is getting waste decomposers. One can use that. It expedites the process and also it reduces the stink. So this is all that we do to make khad in our park, and we are very happy that we are doing it. We have achieved almost a zero. Zero garbage going waste or garbage going to the landfills, because when these garbage collectors, when they are sorting out the waste, the garbage, they are taking away the plastics and the things that they can recycle. They are selling it, which helps them to generate some extra pocket money on the side. They are also happy. We are happy that we get the waste and we are able to convert that waste into wonderful, wonderful green manure. I mean, it's giving back to Mother Earth what we took from it initially, and fulfilling our bit, a little bit of not sending anything to the garbage landfills. I mean, to the landfills. We have almost achieved that target of ours of not sending anything from our block for these landfills. I've shown you the khad. The khad is very nice. We are all using it, especially people living around the park. They are very happy using the. You can see this plant at the back. This is all my greens are absolutely lush and they're in the best of health. They do not suffer. Another thing, even in summers and winters, they are not suffering from any summer heat, because this khad is very light, is not very strong. So yeah, when it happens when it rains, we have something covering it from the top, but we are not able to dry it at that time. That becomes a little painful. It takes much longer. We take it inside the minute we feel it's going to rain. We collect it in a bag, take it inside. Then when next morning, if it is sunny again, then again we spread it out to let it dry and then churn it and then put it in bags.
Okay, ma'am.
This
Ma'am,
is a.
I have one question related to plastic waste problem. Using eco brick, plastic bottle made brick, an ideal solution to the excessive plastic waste management problem we are facing. Is it a suitable solution if we use eco bricks?
Eco bricks for what? For construction purposes?
Yeah, ma'am, construction purpose.
Yeah, but there are gardeners who are using these plastic bottles and growing plants into that. They're making rows and making vertical gardens out of it. That's another very good solution of these plastic bottles that, those Coca-Cola bottles or the Campa bottles, you can cut them into half and use those for growing your plants and then arrange it vertically. It gives you a very nice vertical wall.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am, for joining us today. We have learned much from your insights and learned a lot about composting process. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you. Thank you. My pleasure.
You're welcome, ma'am. Now, moving further to our next guest speaker, Mrs. Madhu Saran. She did a commendable job in composting process in Noida. She initiated this project with some ladies in Sector 47. Noida authorities also supported this project financially. She started this project in the corner of the Central Park of a sector named Swachhata Prerna Udyan. She started to work on this 2 years ago, and it has been going successfully for an year and a half. Over to you, ma'am. Welcome, ma'am. Ma'am, we can't hear you.
सुन सकते हैं?
Yeah, ma'am.
Okay. This is Madhu Saran from Noida, Sector 47. I'm sorry, मैं जो प्रीवियस स्पीकर्स हैं उनको ठीक से सुन नहीं पाई हूँ, क्योंकि मैं यहाँ पे प्रेजेंट थी. आई वाज पार्टिसिपेटिंग फ्रॉम द बिगनिंग, लेकिन मेरा नेटवर्क का प्रॉब्लम था कुछ. हाँ, देखिए, हमने सेक्टर 47 में कम्युनिटी प्रोजेक्ट लगाया था 2018 में, 2018 की जुलाई में. एंड this project caters to 1100 household in our sector. हमने शुरू ऐसे किया था कि अथॉरिटी ने, ये नोएडा अथॉरिटी ने जब 2018 में फर्स्ट टाइम उन्होंने बोला था कि कंपोस्ट मशीन पर सब्सिडी देंगे, so we thought it's a great opportunity. And in any case, I was in RWA that time, and I wanted to do something about waste management. So we approached them to give us semi-automatic machine, लेकिन उस समय वो सिर्फ fully automatic machine दे रहे थे. So we decided to go to do it on our own, through our own funds. And we started with the campaigning, cleanliness campaign and अवेयरनेस कैंपेन इन आवर सेक्टर. हमने सेक्टर में सेमिनार्स, मीटिंग्स, व्हाट्सएप के थ्रू, फ्लायर्स के थ्रू लोगों को अवेयर किया कि ये हमें क्यों करना चाहिए और हम कैसे करना चाहते हैं. तो इसके लिए हमने सबसे पहले लोगों को इस बात के लिए प्रिपेयर किया कि हमें फंड्स चाहिए होंगे एक सेमी ऑटोमेटिक मशीन खरीदने के लिए. उसके लिए हमने फंड रेजिंग की और we could raise the 8,30,000 funds within a week. उससे हमें ये एहसास हुआ कि लोगों में बहुत एनवायरनमेंट के लिए जागरूकता है और वो चाहते हैं कि एनवायरनमेंट आसपास का क्लीन हो. Around our sector there were huge dump yards, and ये dump yards सबके लिए न्यूसेंस थे. तो ये डंप यार्ड ख़त्म करने के लिए हमने ये प्रोजेक्ट शुरू किया और इसमें हमने सेमी ऑटोमेटिक मशीन ली. इस सेमी ऑटोमेटिक मशीन के साथ 4 बायोबिन्स थी, ह्यूज बायोबिन्स, और मशीन हमारी 500 किलो की कैपेसिटी का प्रोसेस कर सकती थी. लेकिन जब हमने ये कैंपेन किया, अवेयरनेस कैंपेन, तो हमारे सेक्टर में लगभग 90% लोगों ने हमें सेग्रीगेट करके वेस्ट दिया. ये वेस्ट जब हमारा आया मशीन में प्रोसेस हुआ तो हमने देखा कि ये 500 केजी नहीं है, ये 1000 किलो वेस्ट है. So every day we are getting 1 ton wet waste to process in our sector. तो हमने उसके लिए फिर एक श्रेडर 500 केजी का लिया और लो कॉस्ट बायोबिन्स हमने ली मैं एक तो ये बताना चाहती हूँ कि हमारा कंपोस्टिंग का प्रोसेस सब कुछ बिन्स में होता है। हमने अब तक लगभग 10 बायो बिन्स अपने सेक्टर में लगाई हैं। 4 बायो बिन्स हमारी मशीन के साथ थी, बाकी 6 हमने डिज़ाइन करके बनवाई हैं। हाँ, वी ऑल्सो हैव a small वर्मी बेड जो हम क्योरिंग के लिए रखते हैं। और आई एम प्राउड टू से कि in 2 years time, since the time we started our project, we almost prevented 800 tons of wet waste going to landfill. And we have produced from this waste 60,000 kg of organic compost, which is good quality compost, and residents they purchase it at the rate of 10 rupees a kg. And this compost, the money that comes after the sale of this project, compost, it is used for the sustainability of this project. So these are the achievement, and I I I want to show the project report that I have made, and anybody can have access to project report by I've written my email ID and phone number. Anybody can ask to have access to this report. I can send the soft copy of this report.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, we have some questions for you.
One thing, one sec.
Yes,
I want to show this. This is the project report. I hope you are able to see it.
yes, ma'am.
Okay. This is about 7 pages report, and I have written everything in detail. How we set up this project, this decentralized waste management project.
Ma'am, if anyone wants this project, he can contact you on your email ID.
Yes, I have shared my email ID in the chat. I have shared my phone number also. Anybody can have access, because the purpose of this report was to motivate, encourage other societies to follow the same thing what we are doing.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Uh,
So
hello.
if anyone wants this
Yes.
project details, he and she can contact Jaago Bharat. We can mail them.
Okay. One more
Can,
thing
yes, ma'am.
I want to share. One more picture I want to share here, and this is my favorite picture. I always say everybody in every society that if we just segregate biodegradable and non-biodegradable waste in two bins, dry and wet bins, we will be able to stop 60% of our waste, which going to landfill. Rest 40% we can further segregate for recycling of plastic and other waste, and e-waste we can segregate. Out of this 40%, 20% is plastic, cardboard, etc. 10% is e-waste and 10% is reject waste. So my submission here is, if we segregate, then only 10% goes to landfill. If we don't segregate, then 90% goes to landfill. So we decide on this basis ki whether we should segregate our waste at source. Waste management is a compulsion. Looking at the figure, we should understand it's a compulsion. It's not a choice that we can postpone it or we can neglect it. So the most important thing I have always emphasized, that awareness is the primary it should get primary importance. And in our city, I would say that all citizens should join segregation movement. अलग करो मूवमेंट, ये हमें सब जगह चलाना चाहिए सरकार की मदद से. आज की डेट में हम ये नहीं कह सकते कि वेस्ट मैनेजमेंट सरकार की प्रॉब्लम है, हमारी नहीं. ये हमारा कचरा है, इसको हमको ही संभालना है और इसके
Yes.
लिए जागरूकता लानी है. इसके लिए मैं हमेशा कहती हूँ लोगों से, एक कदम जागरूकता की ओर, दूसरा कदम स्वच्छता की ओर. आज हम गांधी जयंती पे इसकी बात कर रहे हैं. गांधी ने हमेशा कहा था, cleanliness is next to godliness. So we should keep these things in mind, ki how important is waste management in current scenario. If we look at the statistics in Noida, which has about 25 lakhs of population, and it produces almost 1,000 ton of waste daily. So we should think about it कि अगर इस वेस्ट को हमने नहीं संभाला तो ये 10 साल में कहाँ पहुँचेगा. हमारे लिए बहुत ज़रूरी है कि हम इमीडिएटली स्टेप्स लें और इसको शुरू करें. देखिए 2016 में एसडब्ल्यूएम के रूल्स आए थे सुप्रीम कोर्ट की तरफ से. 4 साल हो गए हैं, हम 2020 के एंड तक पहुंच गए हैं, लेकिन अभी तक ये चीज़ बहुत सीरियसली इम्प्लीमेंट नहीं हुई है. तो I say that we need to fill the gap between law and the ground reality.
Okay, ma'am.
And
Ma'am,
I always say we should take holistic approach towards waste management. Holistic means we should create less waste by following 3R: reduce, reuse and recycle. रीयूज में बर्तन बैंक का बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट रोल है. बर्तन बैंक से हम जो डिस्पोजेबल क्रॉकरी है, एसयूपी है, उसको बहुत हद तक हम रिड्यूस कर सकते हैं.
ma'am, we have few questions on our
दूसरी
YouTube.
चीज मैं इसमें कहूंगी जी.
Ma'am, shall we start with the question answer round? Because we have a few questions
Yeah,
for
sure.
you. This question
Yes,
is
please
asked
go
by
ahead.
Batra. What happens when it rains if the setup is in a public place? This question is from Kumar Pratik. What happens when it rains if the
Uh,
setup is in a public place?
we have seen two rains already, three rains, I would say. Uh, but nothing actually initially first year में हमें थोड़ा स्मेल का इशू आया था. वी रियलाइज कि स्मेल का इशू भी हमने टैकल किया. वी रियलाइज कंपोस्टिंग प्रोसेस में थोड़ा सा कार्बन कंटेंट कम था. हमारे सेक्टर में ड्राई लीव्स बहुत गिरती हैं फॉल सीजन में. तो उस साल फॉल सीजन हो चुका था जब हमने ये प्रोजेक्ट सेटअप किया था जुलाई में. फॉल सीजन अप्रैल में होता है, तो हमें लीव्स की कमी पड़ी थी जिसकी वजह से ये स्मेल का इशू आ रहा था. बट नाउ वी कलेक्ट द लीव्स फॉर द होल ईयर. tons of leaves we get from in हमारा सेक्टर बहुत ग्रीन है. तो जब हम लीव्स अच्छी क्वांटिटी में यूज़ करते हैं, कर्नल नारा ने आपको बताया होगा, नाइट्रोजन कार्बन कंटेंट 1:3 के रेशो में हम यूज़ करते हैं, तो हमें कोई स्मेल का इशू नहीं आता. और हमारी कंपोस्ट 15 to 20 डेज में तैयार हो जाती है.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am, for joining us today and giving us much insight about bin composting. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yes.
Now, moving further to our next guest speaker, Mr. Ramdas Kokare, the then Chief Officer of Vengurula Municipality, who is the force behind changing the definition of dump yard in a less than a year. He modified his Shunya Kachra Abhiyan, that is a zero waste movement, when he was posted in Vengurula in 2014. He made the town zero waste and further implemented the successful model in Karjat and Matheran. Over to you, sir.
Good afternoon.
Welcome,
Are you able
sir.
to listen me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
See, waste management is the worldwide problem now, and if we are not able to segregate it, we never find a solution over solid waste management. That's why when I was at Vengurla in 2015, I initiated zero waste campaign. At that time, there was no segregation. All waste is lifted collectively, and all that waste was dumped at dumping ground, and there is a huge problem, and there is always burden on dump site. All waste is collectively dumped, and there was so many problems. That is bad smell, many microbes. Microbes were there, and that's why there was many times epidemic outbreak. That's why I found one thing, that is whenever we do not segregate waste in different category, whenever we are not segregating it, we don't found any solution. So at that time, we first phase, we start segregation in 4-way segregation category. That is wet waste, dry waste, glass and metal, and plastic waste. After 15 days, we realized that only 4 categories is was not sufficient. That's why we segregate waste in 27 categories. And first, we build a capacity of our staff. Then we build capacity of citizens, and regularly monitoring over this segregation system. We then we got a success, and peoples at their source level segregate their waste in 27 categories, and we can see some slides.
Sir, are you sharing your screen?
Yeah. 1 minute.
Okay.
Are you?
Yes, sir, it is visible.
Okay. This is a beautiful Vengurla. When I joined at Vengurla, I arranged one meeting with citizens, and as there is a lighthouse at Vengurla which navigates the ships, that's like that. I appeal people, citizens, to make Vengurla as a lighthouse for solid waste management, and it come into truth that Vengurla is now lighthouse for solid waste management. Firstly, we perpetuate these ideas among citizens with some meetings, corner sabhas, and street plays with the help of students. We make them aware about segregation and its good effects of segregation. See, at Vengurla, we introduced this 27 categories segregation system, and for that we categorize waste in wet waste, garden waste, coconut shells, papers, cardboards, plastic bottles, glass, metal, electric tubes, tires, chappals, boots, sanitary napkins, diapers, hairs, e-waste, electronic waste, electronic bulbs, thermocols, cloths, school bags, dead animals, chicken waste, debris, eggshell, colored papers, break glasses, that is broken glasses, organic waste means soil, dust, all that material which is not able, which was not able to process through biogas, but it is organic waste, and we process it through composting. Firstly, we process this waste according to its category. For garden waste, we use a briquetting machine, and through this briquetting machine, garden waste is processed, and we produce briquettes, which was utilized as a green coal. Then for wet waste, in that wet waste, kitchen waste, food waste, hotel waste, all these things we are processing through biomethanation plant. That is the biogas. It generates methane, and that methane was utilized for electricity generation. And then plastic waste. In a plastic waste, plastic bottles are different, and plastic is different. We collect plastic separately and plastic bottles separately. And that plastic waste, we crush it through plastic crusher machine, and then we utilize that plastic for road development. And at Vengurla, near about 25 kilometers road, we developed through this plastic waste, and we made a compulsory to all contractors to utilize this plastic, and we charge 15 rupees per kg for them, and we deduct that amount through their bills. And for a simple composting, we introduce such compartments that is for its price is about 2.5 thousand, and for its low budget composting system, and then we screen this through this screening machine, and we made a good quality compost. See, this is the dumping site before. That is a mixed waste, and it's a general phenomena throughout our country. That is a common dump yard, and we collect the all waste uh, unsegregated. We reclaim that dump site through bioremediation, and then its transformation is like this beautiful garden, and then many people came there for study purpose, recreation purpose, and in uh, 1 year more than 1 lakh people visited there, and up to this time near about 4 lakh people visited Vengurla, and at Karzat near about 1 lakh people visited, and Mathuranan is also beautiful hill station, and their cleanliness also attracts many tourists. See, after bioremediation, we make whole dumping ground clear, and we utilize this land for cultivation of maize, marigold, bananas, coconuts, many vegetables like this. And we made such plastic road, and we utilize our collected plastic here. See, without the participation of citizens, students, we can't achieve this success. And regularly, we took their participation, and we made this campaign successful. This is a eco-friendly Ganesh festival. We introduce all clay idols in a Ganesh festival, and we banned plastic of Paris idols, and with this we move towards eco-friendliness. See, after this success, Karzat dumping ground is a zero landfill site, zero waste city, and we got many more awards. Near about 10 awards we got in first 2 years, and at Vengurla we got many awards with amount of 20 crores rupees, and at Mathiran also we got near about 5 crore. At Karzat we got near about 5 crore. Likewise, after this success, we got near about 30 crores in these three cities. See, this is a beautiful site after transformation of dumping ground. Many students participated in this campaign, and they were felicitated regularly. See, this is the various types of dry waste. we introduce one concept among students, each one teach 10. Means each student should teach this, taught these ideas among 10 households. That is, there are only 3 things. Do not throw waste at public place. Segregate waste in 27 categories and avoid plastic. With these 3 concepts, we perpetuate ideas among peoples, that is each one teach 10. See, this is a dump site. After bioremediation and adopting this innovative waste 27 categories segregation system, there is no waste for this dump site, and it sustainably we maintaining it, and it is almost 5 years. It is a zero landfill site and zero waste site. See, this is a zero waste symbol of Vengurla, and we replicate this system, replicate this model at Karzat, Mathiran, and now I am at Kalyandomboli Municipal Corporation. Here, our chief sanitary inspectors are taking efforts to make a zero landfill Kalyandomboli. Our Honorable Commissioner Dr. Vijay Suryavanshi sir very enthusiastically supporting us, and here Mayor Madam and all corporators also in they are supporting us, and now citizens are adopting this model interestingly. एक मिनट. See, this is the this is the dumping ground of Karzat. This is the playground. This was the playground at Mathiran, but after before some years, it became a dumping ground. But now we reclaimed it, and we restored it as a playground now. And at Karzat, at Mathiran and Vengurla, there is no waste for going to dumping ground. All waste is segregated well, and through wet waste we are generating electricity through biomethanation, and rest of green waste we are utilizing for composting, and through plastic we are making roads or sending it to recyclers, and then other cloths, chappals, tires, rubber, all that things were sending for vendors, and we are getting money. In last 2 years, we got near about 30 lakh at Karzat, and now at Karzat there is a we are facing a problem that is where we want more waste. That's why we appeal adjoining villages to send their waste, and we got revenue through that waste also. See, this is a dumping ground. It become a tourist place. It become a educational place, and now many students, many schools are arranging their tours, study tours at this site, and now our dumping ground become a recreation place, tourist place, and education place. We are giving education regarding waste management at this place. I joined a campaign with Amitabh Bachchan in 2016 and 2017 also. See, this is the dumping ground of Vengurla.
Well, thank you, sir. We have few questions for you.
Yeah.
There's one question on our Facebook page asked by Mr. Jayanti. He asked how you tackle the waste of used diaper and sanitary pads.
Diapers and sanitary pads we are collecting separately, and we are sending these items to biomedical waste treatment facility, and we are processing it through incineration.
Okay. So the next question is, how were you able to connect citizens, officials, children into your initiatives?
See, firstly, I told you there is a need of capacity building of our staff and capacity building of citizens. We took many meetings at their ward level, uh, at their society level, and we perpetuate these ideas among them. We uh, told them it's a importance of segregation. And see, there is a only problem of putting our waste in our house. We are putting our waste in one bucket. That is the wrong method. We have to put our waste in separate bags or separate bins. See, firstly, waste is in separate manner. All waste is in separate manner, but we are putting it in one bucket. That's our habit, and we have to change our habit. We introduce this segregation system among citizens, and then they they are uh, uh, they are happily uh, uh, supporting our this segregation model.
So the next question is, what was the agenda behind your campaign, Think Globally, Act Locally?
See, uh, waste management is a global problem. Waste, uh, there is a many countries who are facing a waste problem, garbage problem. But whenever we are not starting at our household level, uh, that is, each citizen should start segregation at their household level. That means think globally, act locally. We have to think about the waste problem of global, but we have to start at our household level. That means think globally, act locally.
Okay, so
And
moving forward,
see,
yes.
we are always discussing about global warming. See, for that global warming, waste, municipal waste contributes 4% hazardous gases for that global warming. That's why we have to think globally, act locally.
Okay, sir. Sir, moving further to our next question. In Bengaluru, you built 12-kilometer plastic road. What is the time span of these roads?
See, in 2016 we built that roads, and up to now, quality of that road is very good, and its strength is also good. Generally, each bitumen road took 10 years span, but I think for this plastic road, uh, it is more strong than this mere bitumen, and I think it's 1.5 times uh, stronger than the simple roads.
Okay, sir. Sir, people find it difficult to segregate the waste into two categories, but in your Vengurula, they are segregating in 20 different, 20, more than 20 different categories. How that is possible? How you motivate them?
See, earlier I shared about putting off our waste in our room, our household level. People have a habit to put their waste in one bucket, but when we introduce them, each waste have uh, resource value, and if we put it separately and we make a calendar that is a day-wise uh, accepting of dry waste, means we are accepting plastic and paper daily, but for cloth, for chappals, for tires, for thermocols, for e-waste, we have a separate day, and that's why they are keeping that waste in separate manner, and they are giving their waste separately to our Gantakadi persons. That's why there is no confusion to mix that waste, and if they found they are keeping it separately, then it's a nuisance of bad smell. It doesn't happen. That's why people accepting this segregation model, and each people found a value for each dry waste items. That's why they are also getting money from some kabadi walas with this segregated waste. That's why people are happy with this segregation model.
Okay, sir. Sir, we have one more question on our Facebook page asked by Mr. Jayan Broker. Why there is so much advocacy for sanitary pads and not on menstrual cup? The majority of sanitary pads are manufactured by MNCs. So, sir, can you
Uh,
explain?
if any agency approaches us, we will definitely introduce this culture.
Okay, sir. Well, thank you so much, sir, for joining us today. We have learned a lot from you. Thank you so much for joining us today. Now, over to my co-host, Rudraksh. Over to you, Rudraksh.
Yes. So just like every wonderful beginning, there's always an end, and we are going to wrap this up. And it was very fruitful and very educational that our guest speakers give us so much information, and they have explained the so many creative ideas. And if you would like to give your imaginative thoughts or any projects that you have in your mind, you can always go to our Instagram post or Twitter or Facebook account of Jaago Bharat. And if you want to help us in some kind of volunteer work, you can go to our site and uh, go into the details and see what you can contribute. Thank you very much for joining us, guest speakers, and thank you for joining us, viewers. It was really nice to speak all to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.